Writers at work. Okay, I see myself. Yay! Woohoo! Welcome, people of the world. Happy Tuesday to all of you. I hope your Tuesday is going well so far. We still have a few more hours to go to survive this day. It's about to be nighttime, so it's good that you all survived the day so far. Hello, Kara. Hello. Kara is here. How come as the live went on, I now have one mochi left with me? Give me a Ronnie, please. Okay, hello, speechless emoji. Ronnie says hi. Okay. Um, okay, people of the world. Her name is now Ronietta. Hi, Choco Cupcake. Welcome. People, before I proceed to do our intensive vocabulary drill today, so you've all survived the grammar drill with me in the past few days. Grammar drill, S&T drill. We have also done, which one, grammar editing drill. So today is going to be vocabulary. Plus, in the coming days, we're doing a comprehension close drill as well. I may want to add, where's the other capybara? Oh, you're looking, Ozil05. Have you respelled your name? Oh, yeah, 05 is now a bit further away from Ozil. You're looking for Mochi. Mochi is not here. It was only Matcha. Mochi at the moment is taking a beauty rest. Ozil05. What could be the third name now? Mocha. Actually, yeah, that works. Okay. People. Oh yeah, awake now. Back by popular demand. This is my other account. Oh, so many accounts, huh? Ozil05. Why so many? With the same name. Okay. Of course, before I start the vocab drill with all of you, please do keep in mind that it's gonna be next Tuesday, actually. Next Tuesday, 1 week more to go. Yay! 1 week more to go. Our PSLE final what is it? PSLE final prep live is happening soon. 2 hours at night, so you are all no longer busy from school. So 7:30 to 9:30, our curriculum directors Agnes and Jamies will be around to give you final reminders for your PSLE paper 1 and 2. So please, hello Galaxy boys, welcome to you. So please get ready. No need to register. Just come drop by our live session during that night and that time. Okay, so today a quick intensive grammar drill is coming your way. Okay, so it's important that we continue learning more words, understanding more phrases in case we encounter them in the passages that you read, by the way. So strengthening your grammar, actually strengthening your overall English score, because you'd have to understand the words used in your passages for Compre Close or Compre OE, or even for your editing and grammar and grammar close, and also for even for visual text, they also put some text there, right? Sure, how can I revise for English Compo? Kara, that's a very long discussion that I will have with you. But at the moment, Kara, of course, I have to tweak my tips because now we are actually very close to the day itself. So I will give you tips. Let's talk about a few tips I can give you, especially now that we have 1 week left to go. What can you do in the final week? Correct, Kara? That's the question. What can we do? That's correct. So, composition tips on the final week. What are the things that you can do? A few things. Number one, Kara, make sure that you are constantly reading and rewriting a curated set of model compositions that you have selected. What is this curated set? it should be the sets that you are very, very familiar with, and it's a set that covers different topics. At the moment, I am pretty sure you may have your own sets of stories by now. Make sure you are still constantly reading and also at the same time rewriting them to ensure that you master the stories. Next one is Kara. Make sure you also master very good feelings phrases for each major emotion that's always present in almost all stories. So so that you avoid repeating happy, 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 angry, 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 embarrassed, embarrassed, embarrassed. Make sure that you have at least a solid 3 phrases per major feelings. So for example, if I'm going for shock phrase, do away with saying I was shocked. Okay? You should by now have 3 solid phrases that talks about the shock of a character. um, Teacher, how do I go about that? Feelings phrases can appear in many forms. It could be describing how they actually look when they have that emotion. So if I'm shocked, I could perhaps say, her eyes widened in astonishment and her mouth hung agape. That's describing how they look. Secondly, it could also be that you're describing what they feel inside. So, for example, for anger, you also say, right, her blood was boiling with rage, correct? So, outer appearance, in internal emotion, and finally, what do they do when they are in that state of emotion? So, for example, people who are happy, then you can say she was jumping in extreme joy and excitement. Or if I'm very angry, my mother, when I stepped home late at night, she was standing with her arms akimbo, staring daggers at me. And then she said, "Where have you been?" Like that. Okay, so three three things that you can do to make sure you have very good feelings phrases would be what they do when they have that feeling, how they look physically when they have that feeling, and how they feel inside when they have that feeling. Okay, so master your curated set of stories that covers many topics. Make sure you have strong feelings phrases for each very useful emotions and composition. And finally, of course, on top of actually mastering a set of stories, make sure that you also practice what topics or possible compo questions can this fit with? What possible pictures can this fit with? Yeah. So for example, you master a sports story. Yeah. So the sports story, perhaps when you master the story, it was like a competition, the QSP. At the QSP, the compo question was a competition, and then the picture was a trophy. Okay. But of course, depending on how the story went, it could also be applied for a time when you were proud of yourself. Okay. A victory, a loss. Okay. An encouragement. Okay. Or for pictures, for example, don't settle on trophies. It could be for pictures of people cheering. It could be a picture of someone. If it's a picture of a guy, it could be your father encouraging you. If it's a lady, it could be your mother encouraging you. If it's a young girl, it could be your sister encouraging you, right? Or it could be someone running if it's a running competition. So these are things, yeah. So these are things that you should be practicing, because one story can be easily manipulated to many different topics and pictures if you are good enough in doing it. So on the day itself, you can manage your time better because you write something that's already familiar to you. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Now, teacher, what if I don't have enough time in the final week? I'm also revising for all my other subjects. What are simple things I can do to revise for composition? First things first, simple things. I mean to say, if you don't have the time, for example, to rewrite an entire composition, please, 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 this is something I get my students to do constantly every day. Planning the stories. Yeah, planning as in, I get my students to have this very cute little booklet, and then they bring it with them everywhere to my class, and they even told me they brought it to them on the day of examination before the examination now, because this little booklet, when they open it, they have this small story curve that has the um, um, planning of the story that contains the summary for each paragraph. So it gives them a quick bird's eye view of every story that they want to master. So at least you remember the key elements of the story. So that's one more thing that you can do. Yeah. So yes, yes, yes. I don't have a bell. Can I have a bell? Yeah, so those are the things that you can do, Kara. Yeah. Later I may be able to add a few more things before I end the live. But at the moment, we shall start our vocabulary drill. Okay. So I have prepared quite a few for you today. If you guys recall, grammar drill we did 4 sets, so you did 40 questions. S&T drill you did 6 sets, so you managed to do 30 questions. Am I right? 5 times 6. Yes. And then editing. I don't know. Editing you did. Oh, it was editing where you did 6 sets. It was when we did S&T, I think you only did you did 7 or 8, I guess. Thank you, thank you. You see, you've seen Gene, people.
No, no, just I made sure.
Okay, number 1.
I made sure in facing.
Okay, the firefighters' reassurances were not effective in blank the little girl's concern about her pet dog in the burning building. Okay, so first things first, contextually, the firefighters were trying to reassure the little girl, but contextually, they also say that they're not effective. Okay, they're not effective. Okay, in blank the little girl's concern. So that means to say we are trying to lower down the amount of concern that the little girl has. So what do you think is the answer there? Wow, wait, you there? Yeah, she's here. Okay. Galaxy Boys, Alyssa, Kara, you all said number 1. Okay. Allaying. You know the word allaying, huh? Okay. Now, let's see. I'll give you some definitions and let's clarify each word and you can reconsider your answer. Otherwise, you can stick to the same one. Okay. Let's start with the bottom one, extinguish. I think extinguish, you're very familiar with it. Extinguish is usually used when you try to put out what? Fire, thank you. Thank you, Kara. Okay, contextually, you always use it to talk about when you want to put out a fire. But of course, extinguish can also be used metaphorically to talk about ending something, but not commonly used in the context of emotional concerns or fears like what the girl is feeling in the question. So extinguish cannot, yeah, fire. Stopping to end. Okay, so the thing is like the firefighter, if you want to, it's not right to really stop the concern, but it's too abrupt to stop it in the context of fears. You want the fear to go away, but of course that's not something that's easy. You want to kind of like just let it slowly lower down, because the nature of emotion is that it doesn't go 100 and then 0, right? It doesn't go, emotions don't happen that way. So stopping is not the right word. Now, finishing implies completing an action. Yeah. So in the context, it's not a good word in the context of addressing worries or fear. Allaying, on the other hand, means that you are to relieve or reduce. And most likely, the good thing about allaying is it's always a word used in the context of fear, worry, or concern. So you guys are correct. It's actually number 1. Well done. Hi, Teacher Mitsuko. Thank you for bringing us to Parkway Parade the other time. Fish and chips, thank you. Thank you for joining my live. Yes, 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 yes. But this coming Sunday, we are staying in the central area, Central Plaza. Maybe we can still bring you around Central Plaza, no? We haven't brought you around Tiong Bahru. Okay, we shall bring you around Tiong Bahru. There's a very well-known hawker center here. And we are also in a mall here. So maybe we can also bring you around the mall. We shall compare. We went to Parkway Parade and the hawker center there. Actually.
Have you all been there?
Actually, good question. Have you been here around the area? Tiong Bahru Mall, you know the food market there. Okay.
Some of you are living there.
If you all live nearby, maybe you can drop by and say hi to us, yeah? Okay, number 12, people. The man was imprisoned after making blank remarks and hurting the sentiments of a minority group. Okay, so we are looking for a word. Okay, the man hurt the sentiments of a minority group. So he may have said something very offensive, right? Offensive or disrespectful for them to feel that way. What word do you think is the best synonymous word for something that's offensive or disrespectful? Okay. Okay, you are all saying, okay, I have 2 and I have also 4. Okay. Okay, we shall see, we shall see. Now, let me give you the definition, especially for 2 and 4, and then let's see if which one is the best word. Okay, so deform from the word form. Okay, here's a good thing about vocab. Yeah, sometimes when you're dealing with it in examinations, it can't be helped sometimes that you actually really do not know the word that you are dealing with. So what you can do sometimes is to actually break it up into syllables or sections such that you see the prefixes and the suffixes being used. So normally, if you break out deform, the prefix is D. When you put D at the beginning, it always means to the opposite, okay? Like, for example, if from the word form, if you deform something, it means you misshape it, right? So understanding the prefixes used and the suffixes, the one at the end, may actually help you break down a words, even words that you do not understand, okay? Means, okay, physically misshapen, okay, or malformed, okay. Now, derogatory terms are words that are critical and are disrespectful, okay. Showing critical or disrespectful. Now, debilitating, when something debilitates something, it weakens them, okay? Okay, weakening. And then finally, disheartening from the word, see, if you break it down again, dis, as in dis, is a very common, it's a very common prefix that you use for when you want to turn the word into something that is negative. So disregard, disassemble, dishearten. Okay, so it's another negative word that means to say causing, okay, you cause someone, okay, cause someone to lose hope or confidence in themselves now. Okay, so now here's the question. Okay, is it derogatory, teacher, or is it number 4? Okay, when you hurt the feelings of minority, the closest word is derogatory, okay, which is, it really means straightforward disrespect, okay, which is number 2. Now, disheartening disheartening remarks can still make them feel sad, yeah, but if the word is hurt, right, hurt means to say we're looking for a heavier word that really goes all the way down to like saying below the belt words, okay. I have membership at Koi, so I'm probably gonna stick there. Okay, number 13, people, read, please read. Kelly, the head prefect, blank confidence when she delivered her farewell speech to the graduating cohort. Okay, that means to say we're looking for a word that Kelly, she was showing it, she was displaying it, okay. What do you think is the word? Okay, Ozil says number 2, I see. It's okay, just give it a guess. Cupcake, no worries. Number 1, okay. Anyone who wants to do 3 or 4? Okay, 1. So I have between 1 and 2, is it? Okay. Now, so I think evolved is it's easily a word that you understand and immediately you cancel it out, correct? Because when something evolves, it develops gradually, right? Develops gradually. we're not talking about Kelly's confidence developing while she is doing the speech. You can see that it was already there. It was not like slowly growing. It was already there when she was doing the speech. So not developing. Okay. Ensued. Normally you use this when something is beginning. Okay. The panic ensued, or the pandemonium, or the problem ensued. It basically means it started to happen lah, to happen, to start happening. Mhm. Mhm. Start to happen. Okay. So now we're down to exude and emit. Okay. Now I would assume this is not the first time you heard the word emit. Okay. Normally you've probably used emit in your other subject. And what subject is that? In what subject do you also often use emit?
I know.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah, correct, Jean. Correct. You always use it in science because it typically refers to the release of something, okay? The release or the production of something. And always, emit is always used in the context of light, right? Light, heat, or sound. Mhm. In this case, we're talking about the display of confidence. And the best word for that is actually exude. Okay, when you exude something, that means to say you radiate it, or you display it. Display strongly and openly. Okay, okay. So the answer here is you exude confidence. You exude good energy. You're exuding positive energy. So it basically is, think of exude as someone is like they're displaying it, but you can see it not as like an actual particle or item, but they show it. They show it and they display it with a manner that they speak or they act. Okay, okay, people. Oh, hi, Ryan. Thank you for the gift. Now, number 14, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. The long distance runner realized that he was way ahead of his competitors and decided to blend for a bit before his final burst. Oh, wow, very confident, this long distance runner, huh? So I think, what do you call the options given to you here? This one, I've been repeating this so many times. When one verb is paired with other prepositions. Wow. Thank you, Ryan. So when one verb is paired with other preposition, it bears another meaning. What do you call these group of words, people? PV, PV. What does PV stand for? PV. Think about it. Think about it. Phrasal verb, Kara. Very good. Thank you. So we are dealing with phrasal verbs. Now, what do you think is the right phrasal verb here? We basically want to see that we want to say that the runner started to slow down temporarily, right? Because he was way, way, way ahead, and he could see that the other competitors were like a bit too far now, so he wanted to slow down a bit because I mean they're still far from him anyway. So which phrasal verb is the right phrasal verb to use for that context? Okay, give me your answer. Hello, Lynn, who just joined. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to share your answer if you have it. Number, people, 2. Some of these phrasal verbs are very familiar, right? So not so hard. Galaxy Boys, you say let down, is it? You know the show Rapunzel? Rapunzel, let down your hair. Okay, anyone else who wants to give an answer before I proceed to break down each of these phrasal verbs? Let's go, people. Let's go quickly. But there is another meaning of let down, Galaxy Boys. I shall tell you in a moment. Sometimes one word or one phrase can have more than one meaning. And that's the okay, Galaxy Boys wanted to go for 4. Okay, I literally have 1, 4, and 3. Okay, now let's break it down. So we understand these phrasal verbs. So let down, okay. I think one common use of let down is go and say like I'm very disappointed in you. You let me down today. Okay, so if you let down, you actually disappoint, right? To disappoint. Yeah. Also, it's like if you want to understand it literally, it could also mean to put it down, like let it down. Okay, let it down. Okay. Now, let go. Okay, let go is very easy. You're all very familiar of this. To let go of something very hard to do, but something we understand. Let go is to release or stop holding on to something, right? Okay, release. Or stop holding on, correct? So let it go, like that. Let on, if you let on, it means you are gonna reveal a secret. I will let you in on something. Okay, let on, reveal an information and info. Okay, or secret that. Okay, and finally, let up. Let up. So now you know the meaning of let up means to ease off. Okay, to ease off or slow down. It literally means slow down temporarily. So I guess you know the answer. What's your answer? Please reconsider. Tell me what your answer is now. Okay, I see Kira now is number 4. Log sect. Hello, log sect. Welcome. Okay, 4. Good job, people. It is number 4. Okay. Not a phrasal verb that we use every day. I know, that's why. But it's good that you learned it now. Okay. So, for example, hey, you're too fast. Let up a little bit. Like that. Okay, so you want them to slow down temporarily, right? Okay, people, we're in the last number for set number 1. You'll have to be faster, huh? We need to finish many sets today. Just because you have blank in rank does not mean you can treat your subordinates badly. Just because you have blank in rank does not mean you can treat your subordinates badly. What you think is the answer?
Hello.
Okay,
Can you
we
all hear
have
me?
number 4, is it? 4.
This is admin
Superiority, is
Jin.
it? Okay. Okay, so all of you are actually saying number 4. However, 4 is very close, but not quite. Okay, so I think we can easily cancel authority here and inferiority. Okay, because inferiority is basically the opposite of the word that we're looking for, right? Authority is basically treating others in a superior to the. It's not specifically emphasizing the aspect of treating others in a superior way, but it's authority is more of giving orders or making decisions, right? So okay, now what's the difference between seniority and superiority? Okay, seniority could be like higher rank. Okay, both of them could be of higher rank. Okay, but superiority can be of both rank or status. Seniority could be of higher rank or status due to longer service or experience. So some people, right? The accurate answer is number 1. You know why? What Maxine is trying to say is that you just because you are of seniority, that means to say on top of you having a higher rank and having more experience or longer service, that doesn't mean you have the right to treat me badly. Okay, so while superiority is close, 1 is the best answer. Okay, people. Okay, now let's move on to our second set. Are you all ready? Now let's move on to set number 2. This is Nanhua. You thought it's 2, is it? You thought it's 2. I see. Huh? What is number 2, huh? You have authority and rank. Okay, no, not authority, because authority is talking about having the power to make decisions and give orders. It doesn't talk about the rank and status. Okay, it's seniority and superiority is more closer to ranking and status as opposed to authority. Okay, authority is just closer to power in making decisions and giving orders. Okay, now moving on to number 2. Okay, set number 2, strong people. Let's go. This one from Nanhua. Okay, I've also included Psle papers here, by the way. My house is under renovation. We have to blank at my grandmother's house during this period. That means to say you actually need to kind of like temporarily like stay somewhere. What's the term for that? You see, you're dealing with another set. You're dealing with another set of phrasal verbs this time. Okay, one, put up, is it? Another set of phrasal verbs. Okay, love yourself. Okay, very good. I have 111, hello star. But we also have number 2, put away. We have to put away at my grandmother's house during this period. Yeah. Okay. Now let's break down the terms and let's see if you're correct. Okay. Put across. If you want to put something across, it means you want to communicate it, right? So I want to just put this across to everyone in my audience like that. Okay, to communicate or convey an idea. Okay. Now, if you put something down, I mean, literally, I'm gonna put this down now. Okay. So that's pretty obvious. Okay. Put away. If someone asks you to put away something, that person is basically asking you to put something in its proper place. Okay. Store something in its proper place. That's why your mother should tell you, put away the clean dishes. Yeah, that means to say she wants you to put them back to where they should be. Okay. Yeah, and then put up. Okay, put up actually means to stay or lodge somewhere temporarily. So the answer is actually number 1. Yeah, put up. We have to put up at my grandmother's house during this period. I know you may have a different meaning of put up. Hello, hey Rose, welcome. Yeah, so I know some of you are familiar with like, I cannot put up with this anymore, correct? Now, that's why I'm telling you, always practice your phrasal verbs to know more of, not just to learn more phrasal verbs, but to actually learn more of some of them who has more than one meaning. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to number 12. Let's go number 12, people. The students worked blank together for the social studies project without any disagreement. Okay. So when you say without any disagreement, that's good news. You didn't fight. Okay. Do you guys usually work well with your classmates when you do group work? Okay. Now, answers, please. So we're looking for them having to do something peacefully because it says without any disagreement. Nah. So it was peaceful, right? So what do you think is the answer? Okay, so I have a mix of 1 and 2. I see. Are we sure? Okay. Are we sure, people? Okay. 5 more seconds, huh?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so let's break it down. Say, so if they didn't disagree, that means to say they worked together peacefully, right? We want to talk about how peaceful and friendly the process is, okay? Now, one thing I can tell you, all the 4 words here, you can use it together with the word together. So you can say that they work simultaneously, they work deliberately, they work coherently, and they work amicably. All grammatically correct. However, because of the context here, without any disagreement, that then tells you which specific word are we looking for, okay? In what manner are they working together, okay? Now, if, OMG, I hate vocab, is it 1? Okay, hey Rose, you shall know in a moment. So if, let's say, for example, the students work simultaneously, that would only mean to say that they worked at the same time. It would not say anything about whether they were fighting or not. They could be fighting and kicking each other, but it doesn't say, because simultaneously just means to say they're all working at the same time. Yeah. So not the answer, okay? And if we go and say they worked deliberately, That would mean to say they worked with so much intention and purpose. Okay, okay. Worked with intention and purpose. Wow, that's good to hear. That does not prove that they worked without any disagreement. They could all be working with purpose and maybe not agree with each other's idea because they're all working about their own things with so much passion, right? So it still does not really pinpoint that they're all working peacefully. Yeah? Now, let's go to coherently. They worked coherently. Oh, teacher, this seems like it's the answer. Okay. So when something, when your, let's say for example, when your sentence is coherent, when your words are coherent, that means to say they are done in a logical, okay, logical and consistent. And consistent way. Okay. Now, while this also sounds very nice, it still doesn't really talk about the lack of disagreement. The word that actually talks about the friendly manner and the peaceful manner they work together is actually number 1, amicably. Because when you do things amicably, you do it in a friendly and peaceful manner. Okay? So that's why the answer is number 1. Amicably is commonly used for when, for example, they say, oh, they parted in amicable terms. So for example, they part ways, but they did it in a friendly way. There was no shouting, there was no, I don't want you, okay, like that. Or for example, they say, how did you, it's good thing that they resolved the issue amicably. That means to say they solved the problem in a friendly manner, okay? They solved the issue amicably, okay? So, hey Rose, don't be so hard on yourself. You actually got it correctly. Good job. Let's move on to number 13. The official checked my identity card to blank the information that I had provided before allowing me to take part in the competition. So the official basically looked at the card. What was the official's purpose of looking at the card? Okay, see. Okay, Natasha. Hello, Natasha. Welcome to you. Natasha says number 1. Hey, okay, all of you is saying number 1. Okay. Number 1, I could tell you outright, you're all agreeing to your answer. You are correct. Very good. Okay. So why? So if you classify something, you categorize it. Okay. The official is not trying to categorize anything. He just actually wants to confirm that the information in your card is correct. Okay. So if you modify something, definitely no, because if you modify, you change it, right? He's not trying to change anything. Okay, he's just looking at it to check, right? Rectify, usually rectify, you use it with what word? You're trying to rectify a what? Okay, very good, Kara. You rectify a mistake. You rectify a problem. Basically, when you rectify something, you're trying to correct it, right? So you correct a mistake lah. Correct something that is wrong. That is wrong. So therefore, that's not the answer. The word is verify. What the official was doing was basically to look at the information to confirm or validate the accuracy of something. So basically, they look at the ID, for example, look at the face and then look at your face. If it's the same face in the ID, then it's yours, like that, okay? So number 1 is the correct answer. Good job. Now, number 14, people, number 14. Search and rescue teams plowed through the blank after the earthquake in search of survivors, okay? Basically here, an earthquake happened. So what are the things that you see in the aftermath of an earthquake? Quickly. Number 2. Anyone else? Okay, you all are in consensus of number 2. Are you sure? Okay, now you are all 5 seconds. If anyone still wants to give an answer, let's go.
2, 1.
Okay, very good. It's number 2. Now, Fragments. Okay, let's talk about fragments. Can't it be fragments, teacher? Fragments sounds like it's a good like leftovers, which basically is correct. It could work. Fragments could work, but in general term that refers to small broken pieces. That's the thing about fragments. It's basically about small broken pieces. But we're talking about a huge calamity here that happened, an earthquake. So it cannot be that you say fragments because fragments is usually for small ones, okay? There are fragments, but the fragment word cannot be used for the entirety of it, okay? So it does not cover broken structures or debris, so fragment, no, okay? Small broken pieces. Okay. A good word, but not the most accurate one, okay? Remains, remains, okay. Remains maybe, but a very generic term for many, many things that are leftovers. Remains can be the remains of someone who's already died. It could be the bones, right? Remains could also be the remains of the dog eating earlier. So too generic, okay? Leftovers, but very general term. Can be various types of things. So too generic, no. Okay. Now, let's go to rubble. Rubble, okay, let's talk about rubble. Rubble basically means broken pieces also, like fragments. Wow, then is this the answer, teacher? The rubble refers to broken pieces of stones, okay? Stones, bricks, okay, or concrete, resulting from the collapse of buildings. Ta ta ta! So basically, if you look at the meaning of rubble, it's more appropriate than fragments. Yeah, so you are correct. It's number 2. Teacher, what's refuse? Not refuse, huh? We're talking about refuse. Refuse means, you know, you have a refuse chute, right? In your places. That basically means garbage, nah? Garbage or waste. Okay, okay. Rubble is rocks, broken pieces. So the rubble is basically from what the building or the structure is made of. Okay, so rubbles could be like, let's say the building is made up of many marbles and stones. That could be the rubble. So it could be brick, concrete, or stone, depending on what the structure was made of before it broke down. Okay, all right. Time for number 15. Wow, strong people. You're finishing set number 2. Let's go. You're on a roll. Now, the judge blanked the woman of theft due to the lack of evidence and released her immediately. Okay. She was released. Okay. She was released. She was not imprisoned. There was not enough evidence to support that she did the act. So, judge said she didn't do it. Okay. So what you think is the answer? I have 2. I also have 1. Ronnie is looking at all of you. Choco Cupcake also says 2. Okay. Okay, one more person before we proceed to review the answer for this one. Okay, I see. Now, do keep in mind that the judge made a decision. We have to talk about the actual word that names the official decision of the judge. But the judge can, of course, decide to find you guilty or find you not guilty. The word for when the judge finds you not guilty, and so therefore you can be released, the word is number 2. You were acquitted. Now, teacher, can't we use freed? So you are correct. Freed can be used, it could imply that she was released from custody. But if you use freed, it does not specifically indicate the legal judgment of not being guilty. Okay? So people can bail, right? And still have the case on. So freed is not the legal term. It may not mean to say that she's legally free. Okay, so freed, not legally correct. Convicted is the opposite. Okay, when you're convicted, you're basically opposite, like, because when you're convicted, you're actually found guilty. found guilty of a crime. Wow. Okay, when you are being condoned, okay, stop condoning that behavior. See, stop condoning that behavior. When you condone a behavior, it means you overlook. Overlook or disregard an offense. That's why they say if someone does something wrong, do not condone it. Do not tolerate. Okay, do not tolerate. What's the difference between matcha and mochi? As in their names, Ozil. The main difference is, I show you, look, look, look. Ta-da! Can you see the difference? Look at their backs. Do you see? They're both bringing two different animals behind them. Can you know? Can you guess what the animal is behind them? Wow. Oh, you were talking about the capybara. Yes, Galaxy Boys. The capybaras are named Matcha and Mochi. And so he was asking about how do you distinguish one from the other one? The hard part is the Ronnie. The Ronnie is the one you should be asking. We don't know.
That's why everyone is one.
Everyone is a Ronnie, okay? No judgment. Okay. Hello, Brandon. Welcome, Brandon. Welcome. We clap our hands for you. Okay. Ouch. Okay, people. Strong people of the world. It's time for set number 3. Yay. Okay, number 3. Where's no one? I named number 3. Okay, number 3. Okay, David and I arranged to play football in the field last evening. Unfortunately, the plan blank when it started raining. Another set of phrasal verbs. People, let's go. Another set of phrasal verbs is fall. You're very confident of your phrasal verbs, huh? Very quick to answer. You are all correct. Well done. Well done. So what does it mean when something falls through? That means to say it's unsuccessful. It failed. Failure. Fail or unsuccessful. Okay. How about fell in? Okay, if it fell in, very easy. If let's say your roof fell in. I'm not wishing for your roof to fall in. It drops to the ground now. Okay, it drops to the ground. Okay, drops to the ground. Okay, how about if fell off? Okay, fell off. Okay, lesser in number, amount, or quality. Fell off is pretty much straightforward. Fall out. Okay, if you have a falling out with someone, that means to say that you end your friendship. We had a falling out last summer. You end your friendship. Or fall out could also literally mean that it dropped from a place now. It fell out like that. Okay. I made a poetry account. Can you check to see if it's good? Just don't mind the end if it's a trend. Oh, so cute. Hey, Rose. I shall check this later. People support her poetry account. We love poetry. Yes. Poetry keeps us alive. Okay, art keeps us all alive. Art is what keeps us together, people. Art reminds us of our humanity. Okay, poetry stories. I shall check that later, Heroes. I want to read some of your poems. Okay. Oh, Heroes, you see, there is this lady in Instagram, I think. She also records and recites her poetry, you know. Maybe you also want that. But at the moment, it's good that you start sharing your art. Okay, thank you, Heroes, for sharing that. Poetry stories, people. Poetry stories. Okay, I shall screenshot this so I remember, Okay. Now, everyone, let's move on to number 12, people of the world. They found a blank beach where they... Sorry, I zoom it out a little. They found a blank beach where they could enjoy some privacy and relaxation, okay? The context is Privacy. Not a lot of people. Okay. And where they can relax. What do you think is the answer? That was quick, Galaxy Boys. Number 2, is it secluded? Who else? Who else? Give me your answer. Quick, quick, quick. This is an easy question. Let's go. It's an easy question that I think you all can get correctly. Let's go. Blackpink in your area is here. Wow! Hello, Blackpink in your area. Okay. Okay, Kara is saying also number 2. Galaxy, what about who else? Okay, the poem is like a story though. The last part is very sad, but it's a trend. What do you mean it's a trend? It's a trendy kind of ending, is it? Hey Rose, Blackpink is number 2. Very good. Very good. It's secluded. When something is secluded, it's hidden. Okay. Hidden or isolated. Okay. Now, teacher, why can't we use populated? Is too obvious. When something is populated, too many people, filled with people, you don't get privacy when it's populated, filled with people or inhabitants. Okay, so you cannot. Restricted means it's limited access. Okay, but this means it's limited access. Okay, it could mean the beach is off limits. Okay, or has certain restrictions. Okay. So restricted is not a safe word to use. Barren, when a place is barren, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no people there. It is more about the ability, okay, to produce, the ability of the land to produce. If a place is barren, it's unable to produce plants, okay, or fruit. That's why something in a place is barren. It's basically like nothing is growing there, okay? Okay, hello, Guy. Hi, Guy. How are you? I hope your week is going well. Sean. Sean, are you okay, Sean? Your examination done ready? Huh? Hello. Okay. Oh, hey, Rose. Thank you for the rose. Hey, Rose. Thank you for the rose. Thank you so much. Okay, people. So the answer is number 2, secluded. Good job. Now, number 13, people. Yesterday, my English paper 2 was a bit stressful. Why was it stressful, Sean? Which section was stressful for you, huh? You're not confident about how you did. But I think the important thing is you tried your best, Sean. When is your I need you to not stress out too much, especially if it's already done. Sean. Now, Ozil 05. You say number 3 for number 13, is it? Upon realizing all sections. Sean, how could that be, Sean? How could that be? What's upcoming for you now, Sean? What else are you going to be preparing for? Now, waiting for your response. Upon realizing his mistake, he felt blank and immediately apologized. Okay, he apologized. Okay, English down, no more English paper. Yes, no more English paper, but you're left with what subject? Apologized to his friends. Okay, so if he apologized, how did he feel? So Galaxy Boy says 3, Ozil says 3 also. One more person. Who else wants to give it an answer? Tomorrow is science. Oh, wow, non-stop, huh, Sean? You better sleep early today. No more cramming. Hero says 3. Kara says 3. Remorseful. I am happy. This is a commonly used word, especially even in your compositions or essays. Right? Okay, number 3 is the right answer. Dejected. Okay, some of you might say, isn't he dejected, teacher? Yes, you can be sad, but you can be sad and not feel sorry. You know that, right? Okay, so dejected is not the right word. Okay, conceited. So definitely no. When someone is conceited, that person thinks highly of themselves. Okay, which is conceited behavior. They think highly of themselves. They have an excessive high opinion of themselves. So conceited, definitely no, because if he is conceited, he would not apologize. That one I can tell you for sure. Okay. Exasperated is frustrated. So we're not talking about him being frustrated here. We're talking about him realizing a mistake and wanting to apologize for it. That's remorse, people. Remorse. Okay. O05, any tips for essays? O05, two important things I can tell you for essay is number one, make sure that you know how to unpack the essay questions properly, such that you're able to see keywords to know what essay type are you dealing with, okay? And what is the requirement of the essay. From there, we move on to writing the essay. Number two, make sure you have a very good plan on plan before proceeding to write your essay. Planning is very important, so you set your main points beforehand, making sure that you can address the requirements of the essay that you actually managed to figure out when you unpack the essay question. So unpack the essay question correctly, pick out keywords that tells you what essay type are you dealing with. Secondly is to plan properly what main points do you want to elaborate in your essay, okay, the moment you've chosen what essay to use. And finally, of course, which is something we always push for here in Writers at Work, is to curate a very good set of essays that helps to cover many topics, okay? That helps you with argumentative essays, especially when they talk about environment, for example, or when they talk about technology, for example. You also need to prepare narrative, okay, narrative essays, or for personal recount, maybe. So you have to curate a good set that will help you cover as many topics as possible. At the same time, you have to know how to properly unpack your essay questions. Okay, now number 14, people, let's move on. A special queue was set up to give blank, okay, to the elderly to enter the theater before the other visitors, okay. Blank, a number one priority, okay. Elderly, so they can enter first, okay. They enter first before the other visitors. So what was given to them? This should be easy, huh? This should be easy. Quickly, give me your answer. One priority. Yes, correct. You are right. Good job. This one, no question, should know, huh? If you give someone the priority, they are very important and must be dealt with before other things. Okay? Okay. Urgency is dealing with something quickly. Urgency is more of like not the importance, but of like time. It's very urgent. It has to be done quickly, right? Authority, we've encountered this word earlier from set 1. Attention is, of course, to notice, observe, or consider, right? So it should be number 1. What people, strong people. You're down to the last number of set 3. Let's go. Nobody likes to work with Kim. Nobody likes to work with Kim, who often blank, displaying a superior attitude towards others. Not good. Then now, the unique thing is you have a set of idiomatic expressions. Let's see if you know the meanings of this and you know which one to choose. Okay, so Kim is not a nice person. She thinks very highly of herself. And too excessive love for the self, okay? And feeling very superior amongst everyone else, okay? You all think it's number 3. Has her nose in the air. I think it's a pretty good idiom, because this idiom, actually, if you take it literally, someone who feels very highly of themselves and who feels superior with everyone is always in down, always raising their nose high up in the air. You are correct. Well done. But be careful with your idioms. Sometimes they're not as easy and as straightforward as this. But let's learn all the other ones, okay? When someone tells you, keep your chin up, what does it mean? Keep your chin up. Does it mean to say also like this? Remember, you cannot take idioms literally. They have a different meaning, okay? You want them to not give up. Very good, Galaxy Boys, to remain confident, okay? Not give up, despite the difficult situation, okay? If you want to get your hands dirty, okay? Someone who gets your hand dirty, or someone who's willing to get their hands dirty, is meaning they say, okay, it's a person who's willing to get their hands dirty, is willing to do. That person is willing to do the dirty work, to do the hard work, okay? To do the hard work or involve oneself in difficult or unpleasant tasks, okay? Those are the people who are willing to get their hands dirty, okay? They do the hard work. Some people just do the easy version of it or the easy part of it. and then say, oh, that person really gets to the hard, or really is willing to get their hands dirty. Okay, now feast to your heart's content. It means to eat heartily and indulge, right? Okay, now good job, people. Moving on to set number 4. Wow, very strong. Let's go to a Nanyang paper. Now, at number 1, the teacher's blank remarks brought a blush to Conan's cheeks and a smile to his face. So she must have said something nice because Conan blushed and he smiled. Okay, so what was the remark that made him blush and smile? Okay, number 3, flattering. Is it flattering? Of course it has to be flattering, people. Otherwise, he would be crying by now if the teacher gave belittling remarks, right? Because if you belittle someone, you make them feel little. You make someone feel small, or basically insignificant. Okay, haughty is more towards a negative because it's disdainful or arrogant. Okay, but flattering is nice. Flattering is nice because it's a praise. Okay, flattery is a praise. Sentimental is not really a praise, not bad, but it's more like emotional. But he blushed and smiled. It may be obviously flattering. Good job. Moving on to number 12. A series of tornadoes left a blank of destruction across the country. Tornadoes, okay, tornadoes. So what is the aftermath of a tornado? Okay, so we're looking for a common phrase indicating the path of damage left behind by this calamity. Okay, you're all saying number 1, log sect. Kira, I see. Very good. Good job. A trail of destruction. Okay, the trail is actually pairs very well. It's a collocation. It's a very common term that you actually use when you want to talk about the path of damage left. Okay, route, no, because the route is basically talking about the path. Okay, the path of the course taken. It doesn't necessarily talk about the damage that it left behind. Circuit is a circular path. Okay, circular path taken, and again does not talk about the damage. The passage is moving through an area, also does not talk about the damage. It's number 1, trail of destruction. Okay, number 13. Let's go. I gotta go soon for tuition. So late at night, log sec. What time is your class? Number 13. Even though Fiona is an award-winning writer in Southeast Asia, she remains blank outside the region. Okay, so even though basically means you have 2 contrasting phrases here. Now this one is happy and this one may be a sad one. So she remains what? You all say unknown. Pretty obvious word to use. A very good. She remains unknown, not unbearable. Okay, and pretty much all the rest of the words here are also easily explainable, so not a very hard one. This is a very easy set, no? I have tuition 8 to 10. Oh, hey Rose, wow. Make sure you eat before you go for that tuition class, huh? Number 14. Having been in the same job for many years, Mrs. Lee decided to blank on her own and starts a business. Okay, phrasal verbs again. We're looking for one that basically talks about you start something independently. You leave something behind and start something new. What's the phrasal verb do you think? Says number 2. Number 3, so many of these. I know, long sec. I'm telling you, there is going to be so many of them because there's thousands of phrasal verbs. So they like to test you on these because there's just so many of them. They like to confuse you. Because some of them also sounds the same now. Normally like, oh, take in, take on, take out. What's the difference? Yeah. So they like. So practice your phrasal verbs. You all say, okay, I see number 2 and number 3. So let's define strike off and strike out. Okay. To strike off means to remove something. Strike it off. Remove something. Yeah. Or someone from a list or a record. Now, okay. Strike out basically means to start. If you strike out, means you start an independent venture. An independent venture. Okay. Particularly after leaving an established position or situation. So basically, Mrs. Lee decided to strike out on her own. Okay. Strike up, it means to start a conversation. Pretty obviously, use it a lot. Let's strike up a conversation with that stranger there. He seems to be needing some help. Okay. Or strike down. Okay. It means to cause someone to fall. Okay, strike them down like that. Okay, so the answer is number 3, strike out. So when you're trying to strike out, it basically means you're trying to start something new, especially after leaving something that you've done for so long. Okay, all right, so that's number 3, people. Wow, last number for sets full. That one was very quick, people. Let's go. Mrs. Lim encouraged her daughter to read blank by sharing with her a wide variety of books. To read what? You want them to read so much. Read so much. Read nonstop. Read a lot. Okay, read a wide range of books. Okay, so what's the word for it? I see for extensively. You mean, is it? I've seen this question before. I see. If you've seen this question before, I'm hoping you're giving me the right answer and you're saying me it's number 4. You are correct. Very good. Okay, to a great. This one is to a great extent. To a great extent. Okay, promptly cannot. Like if you do something promptly, basically, that means to say you don't do a lot of it, but you just do it quickly or immediately. Okay, prompt. Be prompt in your reply like that. Quickly or immediately. Okay. Studiously, with great effort, very studious person, very hardworking, right? Very focused and diligent. Okay. Generously is very kind and giving, but we're looking at the amount of books. Okay, so it has to be extensively. Okay. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, very strong people. We can actually do one more set before we end our live today. Let's go, strong people. So on set number 5, are you all ready to do this with me, people? Tongue tagada, tongue tagada. Okay, when Alex saw the grizzly bear getting closer, he immediately blanked in fright. He immediately what in fright, people? Sorry, let me zoom it out. Hello, Dijang Online. Dijang Online. Hello. Kim Francis is number 4. Number 4. I see 1, 2, and 4. Wow, people. Okay, now you all see. You see the reason why I need you to master your phrasal verbs, right? Okay. Now, he what in fright, right? I think you can imagine what he's doing, but we seem to be trying to figure out what he's trying to. What is the right phrasal verb, right? When you back up, okay. Let's talk about this. When you back up, you move backward or reverse, okay? Move backward or reverse. But the thing is, back up is often used in the context of driving. Or when you're talking about a moving object. So while it's close, it's not the answer. Okay, contextually, it's normally used for driving or moving objects. Okay, back out means you want, okay, she backed out from the competition, right? So you want to withdraw, okay? You basically want to, let's change the color, withdraw. Okay, from an agreement or from a competition, often used in deals or plans. You back out from the plan, okay? You back down, never back down. You know what I'm saying? Never back down, okay? Never back down. If you back down, that means to say, you withdraw a claim or you retreat from a confrontation. Also also very close to back out, but different context, okay? You withdraw like a claim. Or it could also mean that you concede a point now. You concede a point, okay? So the right answer, people of the world, is actually back away, okay? To move backward, away from something, which is the most accurate way to talk about what Alex is trying to do. He was trying to move away from the grizzly bear. That's number 4. Never what? Never give up! Yay! Woohoo! Like that. Is back up and backed up the same? As in, what do you mean log set? Are you asking about the tense, or are you asking about thinking about back up as a different meaning? Because back up could be back up in the driving or the meaning I gave you. But back someone up is to support them also. That's also another meaning of back up. So read, Damien, I understand. That's the thing about it. When you try to revise phrasal verbs, right, there's a lot of phrasal verbs. At the same time, some phrasal verbs even have more than one meaning. So it could be challenging. That's why you have to really expose yourself to as many phrasal verbs as you can, so it doesn't get so hard for you. And on top of that, phrasal verbs can be tested in grammar, but it's also tested in editing. It's also tested in comprehension prose. Yeah? Okay, number 12, people, let's go. The animals in the shelter had been neglected and lived in blank conditions, causing outbreak of diseases and numerous deaths in the last 2 weeks. So sad. I hope animals are not treated this way. Yes, log set, you are right. So back up is one of those phrasal verbs that has more than one meaning. Okay, back up your car, that's the meaning I told you just now. Move back in the terms of driving. But if you back someone up, you support them also. Back me up here. No one's listening to me. Come on, back me up. Okay, that also means to support. You are correct. Okay, Stitch 101, hello. Hello. Okay. Number 12. Okay, what conditions? So very horrible conditions, right? See, so many of them are getting diseases. So many of them even died in the last 2 weeks. So what is the best word to describe this? Horrifying conditions, people. Horrifying. What you think? Okay, I see number 2. I also see number 3. Okay, now let's talk about 2 and 3, since lots of you are choosing either these 2 options. Okay. Now, when you say daunting, when something is daunting, it's seeming to be like difficult. Okay, difficult to deal with. Okay, to deal with in prospect. Okay, in prospect. When you say in prospect, right, it means to say you haven't experienced it, but you think about it, and then it's kind of scary, right? That's why the best word to talk about in daunting is it's intimidating, right? Oh, I saw her. I don't know her, but she looks daunting. Oh, she told me about the task. I haven't done the task yet, but it feels daunting already. So that's how daunting is normally used. Now, appalling, from the word appalled, I was appalled, right? It's causing shock, okay? Causing shock or dismay because of something that's very horrifying, okay? So daunting does not actually capture the severity and the horror of the situation of the animals. So the right word for this case is appalling, because when you're appalled, you are shocked over something that's so severe. Okay, so that's number 3. Yeah. Intriguing, no, because something intriguing arouses curiosity or interest. Okay, so it does not really talk about something that's so horrifying. Okay, striking is always used in kind of like a positive way. Okay, striking, attracting attention. Oh, she has a very striking appearance. Okay, attracting attention by being, you know, unusual or extreme or prominent. So striking can be used in a neutral or positive connotation. Yeah, but we're looking for something that's really good. We're looking for something that's very like that, and the word for it is appalling. Okay, okay. Now number 13. Let's move on to number 13. That blank competitive store has caused many of its competitors to be out of business by lowering prices significantly. Now, this is a collocation, okay? This is a collocation. That means this word is always paired together with blank competitive especially for businesses. When they compete this way, the word is always, teacher, you going live tomorrow? Yes, Stitch 101, I'm going live tomorrow. Catch me. Now, cat means one, fiercely competitive, fiercely or maliciously competitive. I see. Okay, so I think we are now between fiercely or maliciously, correct? Okay, I think severely and harshly may not be the word for this one. What time? Tomorrow, I will be around 5:30, the usual, okay? So severely is like very intense degree, right? Harshly is also cruel and severe, but cruelty is not the intended meaning in the sentence, okay? When something is done maliciously, it's done with the intention of harming someone, okay? With the intention of doing harm. But that's also not the main point of the sentence. Sometimes some of the stores are just literally fiercely competitive, whether they have the intention to do harm of other stores or not, right? But they can be fiercely competitive in that sense. That's number one, okay? So fiercely competitive, it's a very common phrase, yeah, so you need to master your collocation. It's a very common phrase used to describe a very aggressive and determined effort to outperform your competitors, okay? Fiercely aggressive. All right, number 14, let's go, be strong, last two numbers. Now, Sean beamed proudly when the police officers blanked him for his brave act of saving the injured victims in the car accident. Okay. Number 14. Okay. Hello, Study Talk. Welcome. Says Study Talk said number 2, comment. Okay. Let's talk about comment. Okay, all of them seem to have the same meaning of, like, giving someone good words, right? Of praises, correct? So what's the main difference? But I'm happy. Okay, I see number 2, but I also see number 4. Okay, so okay, I think we can officially cancel number 1. Command with the letter A is when you order them to do something. Go here, go there, you stand, like that. But we're not talking about that, right? We're talking about giving good words of praises. Okay. Now, commend, when you commend with an E, it means you praise, okay, formally or officially, okay? But, teacher, it sounds like can also be compliment, right? When you compliment someone, you actually also praise, right? Praise or express admiration. But this one is often, okay, now the difference is the context, right? Commended is praised formally and officially. Compliment is more casual. More casual. Or informal. And of course, congratulate normally includes like a specific achievement. You've won a medal, you've won first place, like that. So in this case, because we're talking about the police officers, officially praising someone, the word is actually commend. It has to be commend. Very good people of the world. Well done. Hello to those of you who just joined. Please remember to follow us so you get notified for our upcoming live sessions. All right. Last number, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. Very strong people. Let's go. Let's go. Now, Ken shouted angrily at the salesperson when his request for a refund was ignored. His parents were embarrassed by their sons. I would be embarrassed too, okay? You can always discuss any issues without having to shout. Okay, not a good personality. So what do you think is the right word here, people? Last number, come on, be strong. Okay, I see number 2. What else? Number 1, 2. Okay, so now do keep in mind, Ken is shouting at the salesperson when what he wanted was not given, okay, and his parents were not very happy about it because Ken was being what, okay? He is being what? What's the word when you're very rude to someone, that you don't show them respect? When you don't show them respect, you are very insolent, okay? So the word is number 1, insolence, rude behavior, okay? Sure, why can't I use intolerance? When you're not intolerating, it means to say you're refusing to accept ideas, beliefs, or behavior, okay, that are different from yours. Yes, Ken is perhaps intolerant, but the main point here is not just him not accepting what he wanted to happen, but also him angrily talking back at them, right? So insolence is the better word for it then, okay? Incompetence, basically when you're incompetent, you don't have the ability to do something properly, to do something right, okay? Ineffectiveness, again, it also talks about the results, okay? But for this case, when you talk about rude behavior of someone not showing respect, it's insolence. Yeah, you're being very insolent. So the word is number 1. Well done, people of the world. Good job, good job, good job. Yay, you have done 5 sets with me today for vocabulary. Of course, for tomorrow, I am doing another drill with you. Tomorrow is dun, 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 comprehension close. So prepare to find contextual clues and collocations and grammatical errors and all these things. Yeah? And of course, before I let you go, please remember to join us. Where is it, huh? To join us this coming next Tuesday and next Wednesday, exactly before the PSLE English Paper 1 and 2, our 2 curriculum directors are excited to share very important tips with you related to Paper 1 and 2. And of course, we are willing to answer your questions. So if you have questions, please comment them. We have posted this exact you will see this creative in our TikTok account, also in Facebook, Instagram. Please comment down what questions do you want our curriculum directors to address during the live. I will consolidate them for you so they can talk about it on the live. When you watch, then you can see your question being answered. Okay, so please, I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow again at 5:30. We still have, of course, earlier live for tomorrow. So have a look at our schedule so you know what live session is coming up for you. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.